you guys? I am back with another video. Okay, I've been gone for about a couple of days, and yeah, so I get into details of why I've been gone, but I'm back in school. So I was, looking at the first day. So I'm super excited for that to be back in school, working on my bachelor's. But I've been taking some time off, reflecting, getting myself prepared, and we're live today. Now, this particular live may ruffle some couple of feathers of some folks, but we are live. I want to give a special shout out to the producers that are here. Special shout out to the moderators that is here. Okay. And the reason why I say I wanted to go back to school is because I was looking at my YouTube career and I, had to have a conversation with myself. I said, it may not work. I'm putting all of my time and energy into this one thing, and it may not be for me, you know? So I got back into school and I said, you know what? I said, let me get a degree. So just in case this career, this commentator thing does not work, I have something else to fall back on, and that I can live comfortable, right? Then versus me going back to do certified nurse assistant work, going back to that, and I don't want to do it because I get very depressed doing that type of work because I don't want to do it. So I said, what can I do? I said, let me get back in school, and I'm putting my all into it. I said I want to graduate, so I need something else to fall back on because when you don't have certain type of degree, when you try to get these jobs, I was fed up of getting positions where you're not even making $15 an hour, but yet you're doing excruciating work. And then when you get a job, in health in CNA and you make more money, you gotta prefer to do 12-hour shifts, or you got to be working with an agency and you working with 60 to maybe to 70 some people you taking care of. And I just didn't want to do that. So I said, let me just finish up my degree in criminal justice. And yeah, so that's where my mindset is at. And I said, it may not work. Because one thing about YouTube that I've learned being a commentator, you have to be, it's like customer service. You have to have good customer service because let me tell you, when you have a certain topic or a certain thing where people don't agree, you have to deal with the backlash. And sometimes I don't be want to do that. It's like you got to be on the phone, you got to answer to people emails. Everybody got something to say about you. You get criticized a lot. And sometimes that could get overwhelming with everybody having an opinion about you, especially when you turn the lights off, you still get emails, you get DMs, you get comments, stuff like that. But I'm so glad for the platform because despite all that, we have done some good. We recently interviewed a woman, her son, and we got a lot of topics we're going to talk about. But her son was arrested because he had a R word charge, right? I don't want to say the word to get thrown out of the algorithm, but her son was arrested and she came on the show, right? Came on the show. We interviewed her. We helped her with every way we can. And now her son has been released out of jail. He have been released. So I don't know if he's innocent or not, but he is going to come on the show. We talked to him. We talked to the mother. And so that was a sign like, okay, I would love to do more shows like that because that was good. Somebody was battling in something in the justice system and I was able to help them get out and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, I want to get into more of those type of topics, social justice topics, because that's what I'm passionate about. I love that stuff. So when she talked to and I was able to hear his voice, I'm like, oh, that's a good thing. That's okay. That's a good thing when you have a show where you can help the next person come up. So that was great. I was excited about that and stuff like that. But we have a lot of stuff to talk about today in this episode. Um, but I want to say this to all the Black women that follow our show. All right. I want to say shout out to the Black women that follow our show. But some of the Black women that follow my show, I don't like their attitude. And let me be real with you because I feel as though that when we talk about certain topics concerning the LGBTQ, I get a resistance. And I talked to one sister that followed this show for a long time, and she was upset about the show. She was upset about my commentary. And she kept talking, she kept talking, she kept talking. And then she slipped up and said, I don't want my son to be an F word. Now, mind you, this woman has been following my show for years, And I'm like, wow, that really exists. You have a lot of people that do not believe in LGBT issues. Now, they don't mind coming over here, getting a good cackle, getting a good laugh, getting a good, getting some tea or breaking stuff like that. But when you get really personal and they really get to talking, some of them will really tell on themselves. And I was like, I think a lot of people don't like that type of commentary. And when we go back to DaBaby, and I put his name in the title, that exposed a lot with some of my followers who I thought was open-minded, that was not that conservative. But once they start talking and emailing, we start having conversations, I said maybe they're not that open. Maybe they don't like that. And so when I look at DaBaby and I put his name in the title, I said DaBaby needs to be educated, not canceled. And I heard Nick Cannon say this on the Breakfast Club. And I said, that's important because he should be educated and not counseled. Because the reason why I say that is because we all make mistakes in your 20s and your 30s. And I feel like if we have this umbrella, counsel them all, that means if you say something, you can't get a chance to come out and say, educate me, let's work on this, instead of just snatching stuff away. And that's why I'm so glad that God is not that type of person, that he give us a second chance, that he give us a chance to repent, he give us a chance to work on ourselves, he give us a chance to work on our mistakes. But when it comes to certain men and women, they don't want to give you that type of chance, right? They just want to snatch everything. Cancel them. Don't book them. Don't put them on the show. Don't do it. Cancel them. I'm like, what? Give me a chance. Let's educate them and let's do that. Now, it was a couple of things when I was looking at DaBaby, and I said there's a lot of things that he's probably battling with. Number one, ego. I ain't nowhere in the world. I already apologize and they doing this, blah, 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 blah. He not understanding that when you apologize to something, it is a process. It is literally a process, and everybody have to process what you're saying, and it takes time for the apology to work. But the thing about with DaBaby, and I was having this conversation with someone, I said, he's not listening, right? He's not really listening. If he take the time out to have a conversation with somebody that is in the LGBT community that is positive, and he literally listens to them, I think his approach will be totally different. But you got to lay ego to the side and put it in the back door, throw it away. Because if you're not willing to put that to the side, you're going to find yourself in more trouble. Okay, give me a second. I think we're going to have a special guest on our show. Give me a second. All right, hold on. Let me drop them the link. Give me a second, you guys. You got to learn how to put ego aside. And that's something that he's not willing to do, or he's not trying to do. Because I said if he would just sit and talk to Kurt Myers in Dallas, and with shout out to Kurt Myers in Dallas, who is the CEO of Abounding Prosperity. He owns and operates HIV, and AIDS. He do testing. He have a clinic so you can get checked. I go there all the time to get my STD tests, HIV tests, and I get my PrEP medication. They actually his pharmacy is so great, they deliver it to your home. So I don't even have to go to the pharmacy and get a prescription. I can just get it delivered to my home instead of driving all the way to the pharmacy. So that's really a good thing. So he wrote an open letter to DaBaby for him to come to Dallas so he can be educated. And I said, if he do that, not only would you get a bag and you will be educated, and excuse me, you would get a bag, because just using Kurt Myers as an example, he have the purse, he have the purse keys. I always say he's the gatekeeper in Dallas. If you want to make some money in the LGBT community and you in the black space, you're 9 out of 10 chances you're going to have a conversation with Kurt Myers. He's one of the ones that will book you, and he is like he runs the city when it comes to giving you a check in these gay pride events. So if he would have a conversation and speak about be educated, yet, and then come and do a performance at a gay club in Dallas or whomever, it can be in Florida, right? It will change the whole conversation. People was like, "Oh, I respect DaBaby. He's confident in his skin and stuff like that." Because at the end of the time, that's when you know you as a man is protected. That you're not threatened by a gay person because you are a man. You know your identity. You know who you like to sleep with. You know, all these type of things. But the problem that I had with DaBaby is that, oh, I'm gonna delete my apologies, I'm gonna backtrack, and you make it worse. But if he would have just continued on the journey and went out and got educated, and then came to Dallas in a gay club, instantly the story would have went away, because you would have had a covering from some people in the community to be like, okay, let's give this man a chance, he did a good job, let's move on. But once you start deleting stuff and start acting though like you ain't winning, apologize, stuff like that, you're going to continue to do damage. Because when you lost the bag, I think someone deleted him off a record, and then now you've been deleted all these festivals and you got all this type of stuff. But let's be clear, you have a lot of black women, whether they want to admit it or not, just not black women, black men particularly, but I'm speaking to black women because most of my audience is black women. They don't want him to apologize. They agree with him all day long. And these particularly black women speaking on, they get their nails done by gay men. They get their wigs done by gay men. Get their makeup done by gay men. They allow gay men to go to the club with them. But if you really ask that black woman a question, if your son come out as gay, how would you react to that? Most of them will say, I don't want him to have that spirit. They will immediately get to that place and all of that stuff. And then you look at it and they saying all this stuff. I don't want my son to have that spirit. It's against God. But then I question that black woman. I question that woman. I'm like, if all of this is against God, why do you go and hang out with a person that is LGBT, and you go to a club and you pop, you do all these dances and you hang out with folks that's LGBT folks, but you don't want your child to end up like that because it's a spirit? Make that make sense. That don't make any sense to me when you allow yourself to be in the company of gay people, but when you don't want your own child to be that way. And so when you have these conversations, it gets really real. So I'm gonna get back to that. We have a special guest on the show. How y'all doing?
Fine.
Hi. So okay. So are you happy your son is free?
Yes.
So tell us what happened. Like when you came on, you shared the story about your son, about things that happened. So how did this happen? So did they drop the charges?
Well, the investigator came over to the house and he interviewed me. And then he went around in an apartment complex and I guess he interviewed other people. They dropped the charges because there's no evidence.
Wow. Are you excited? Because I know you were going through a lot.
He was never in the house.
Wow. So they dropped the charges. So your son, how did you deal with this personally? What was going through your mind when you got arrested?
I was like, what's going on? I was like, am I in trouble? I was like, I didn't do anything. I was thinking of those.
So this was your first time being arrested, correct? This was like your first time ever being arrested?
Yes.
And so as a mother, how did you deal with that, knowing your son may spend the rest of his life? Because he had a serious charge that he was dealing with, that he could have served years, decades in prison, right?
He, as a minor, if they would have kept him in juvenile court, he would have been in jail till 25. If they would have charged him as an adult, he would have got 25 years.
Wow. Because when you hit me up, I was like, what in the world is going on? Because I felt like it was a shady investigation. If he was white, they wouldn't have arrested him. They would have made sure all the evidence was in place. But because he's black, he fit the description. Let's go ahead on. Forget about justice. Forget about a procedure. Did you feel like that? Yeah, they profiled it. That's how I look at it.
He came down to the car to give them a camera that they wanted, and they kept him. They wouldn't give him back. They wouldn't tell me anything for hours.
So are you going to take any legal action? Or are you going to try to sue the state for doing this?
Yeah. My son, that could follow my son. I want everything expunged. I want the DNA gone. I want the fingerprints gone. I want anything that you took from my son. I want it gone out your computer. You're trying to put my son in your computer, you know, so you could track him as an adult.
And so they never found the person that victimized those women in your neighborhood.
Boy around, whoever it is, he's making the Sacramento Sheriff's Department look like jerks or whatever. He's taunting them now. He's still doing it, and they can't catch him.
Wow.
He's still doing it. So now, Wiley, check it out. I want you to listen to this. I want everyone to listen to this. The Sacramento Sheriff's Department is going door to door now. And if you're black, they're going to ask you, do you got a son? And if you got a son, they asking you, can they see him? So it's a witch hunt now. They knocking on our doors trying to take our black sons, because when he came home, he talked to one of his friends that live across the street, and they did his mom the same way. But the mom was like, no, you can't see my son. But that's not what happened to me. They wanted a camera. So everybody is saying, well, I wouldn't have gave them the camera without a warrant. The Sacramento Sheriff's Department left my door saying that they were coming up in here with the key from the management. I feel if Sacramento Sheriff would have kicked this door in or came in with a key thinking that he was home alone, I think we would be dead. I think they would have shot us. I think they would have killed us.
Wow.
I know my rights, but I was trying to stop them from coming in the house. And then somebody also said, well, why does she think that the police was after her? I don't think that the police was after me. There's this shady lawyer trying to serve me some papers for $350. And I just didn't feel like dealing with him. I didn't want to, it's the pandemic, and I just didn't feel like dealing with the sheriff's department. It's my right to not want to. I'm not a criminal. I haven't done anything. I don't have to open up my door for you.
Yeah, because I remember you went live and your son was already in custody, and they were out searching because something else happened. And I'm like, what's going on? So
and they turned the water hose.
They turned what?
They turned the water hose on me that day. Remember?
Yeah.
I called you. They had turned the water hose on me because I was in front of the office begging for my son.
Wow.
Begging the sheriff's department for my son. I said, so since you're still investigating this guy that's still out here, can I have my son back, please? I was like, I'll kiss your feet. I'll throw myself on your mercy. I just want my son back, please. You know, after a while, you know, you just be like, I just want my son back.
So are you going to put your son in counseling? Because I know he went through, so that had to be serious. Be a young man, never had a trouble with the law, arrested. Are you going to try to put him in some type of counseling?
Yeah, we're looking for a counselor right now. My son has PTSD. I figure I'm not a doctor, but my son is scared to go outside. My son is scared to leave my side. Okay. I don't know what is going to happen during school, you know, but my son is scared. My son won't even go outside to empty the garbage, or he don't want to be left I can't leave my son in the house, and my son can't go out of the house with me now. He's scared.
Wow. So what can the people do now? What assistance do you need? Any more help now? What can a person that's watching right now? We almost got 200 people watching. So what can they do to help you in this?
So right now we're trying to start an organization called, what is it called? Idea. I didn't even do anything. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to put an organization together where we get 2 criminal lawyers, 2 civil lawyers. We get somebody that, to walk this type, what happened to me, I needed somebody with me the first 30 days, okay? For my mental state. Single parents don't have the money to, go out there and find lawyers or anything. They got it set up. And Wiley, I don't want to say it's a black and white anymore. I want to say it's a you come into our neighborhood, so I'm low income.
Right.
I'm low income.
It's a money thing. Yeah.
You prey on the weak.
Yeah.
And if we have help. You know what I'm saying? So it's the police using their colors, and racially profiling our kids. But if you're poor and white, it can happen to you too.
Absolutely.
I've had people me that says that this has happened to them too, and they were low income. So if they can come in here and mess with a low income I consider that a weak individual. If you're low income, you don't have the resources. You're preying on us. You're preying on the community. And it just happens that, it's a lot of our black kids. So I don't want to keep the black and white thing. I don't want to keep saying that because I get attacked for talking like that.
Right. So your son gonna graduate, right? This is his last year in school, a senior?
Last year in school. We went up to the school today and we talked to the person that was up there that was in charge. It wasn't a principal, it was somebody else. And like a doctor type of teacher or counselor or something like that. And we spoke with him. It just so happened that my son was going to school in juvenile hall. They will put your kids in school. They'll send them in school still. So I think he actually got some credits ahead. I think he actually got credits, which is a blessing. But yeah, he has, he'll be going to school up there at Foothill. I mean,
That's a blessing. That's a blessing. Is going to do your son. Do you want to say something or a message like for people that are watching right now?
I'm just happy that I'm home.
Yeah.
It was a struggle being up in there. Like sleeping, eating, everything's. Like, I had to survive. I had to activate survival mode because I don't eat like that. But yeah.
Were you scared, like being there? Like, were you?
I was scared because the kids up in there, like they look kind of big and stuff. But I just ignored them and stuff.
Like the first day he was there, one kid centered him out and flipped him off.
Yeah.
Wow. Because you was there for like what, 3 months?
Yes.
For about 3 months. Yeah.
They stole my 3 months.
Wow.
They stole my son's DNA. Since he was never out of the house, you raped him.
Yeah.
You AR'd him. You AR'd my son. You assaulted my son. My son was never out the house that day.
So how can they get in contact with you for people that are watching? Because I know someone said they reached out to you on Facebook. So do you have a Facebook group set up or email set up where people can reach out to you and lend their support to you?
I have a ensol. It's all lower caps. It's JOLONDAHENRY@gmail.com.
Okay.
I'm gonna take the GoFundMe down. It was like $150 that we raised, but that's good because we could put it towards flyers. We could put it posters. We're going to be protesting. We're gonna be protesting. We're gonna try to put awareness out here about what the Sacramento Sheriff's is doing. And I heard it killed 11-year-old recently. I want to look because I
just saw that in the chat. Someone was just talking about that in the chat. Wow.
I'm impressed. So they just keep victimizing us.
And
there was nothing that I could do.
And that's why we have to get out here and work, get in the streets, change policy. We have to. And it's unfortunate that have to happen, but
and not just for Black people.
it's for
We're
all
talking
people.
about poor white people too. They're
Absolutely.
doing people who are low income. And if they can come in here and dominate you, they will. If they can come in and make their case easy so they don't have to do any footwork, they will.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so very much for coming on.
Deuces.
Thank you.
Thank you. We love you.
No problem. I love you too. And if you need help, just let me know and I'll send my people your way so we can help you in that.
Okay, baby. You have
Thank
a good day.
All
Love
right.
you guys. Bye.
Love you. Bye. Bye-bye. Okay, so that was the mother, and her son was accused of R-wording somebody in the building or in the complex, and he was arrested. They did DNA test, found out it was his DNA did not match the victim. He was let go. And they was released 3 months later because another incident happened again in the same neighborhood. So I'm glad that he was released. And so we will post the information on the community wall if you want to help the mother, if you want to give to them and help in that situation. But I want to thank the producers that did reach out and help and that did donate. So thank you. So that was really good. So that made me feel really good, using my platform for good. Absolutely. So thank her so very much. Okay, I want to. I talked about DaBaby, and I said this, and this is me being real because anytime I bring a person that is gay on the show and they're very confident within their gayness, it's a problem, and it's just because you have a person that is confident in their gayness does not make you feel less than as a woman. That's not a threat to your womanhood. That's not a threat, right? If a person come on, they're confident within their gayness, that's not a threat towards your womanhood as being a woman. Now, I want to say this because I gotta say this because when I watch Zeus, they post a clip. Jocelyn, I think her husband or fiance, proceeded on that show to cuss out a Black woman. Now, mind you, he's not even Black. I think he's Puerto Rican. I haven't seen not one petition. I haven't received not one email. I haven't received not one phone call at all concerning that situation. But if that person was a gay, Black, feminine man and cussed her out, I would have received so many emails and phone calls saying, "While you got to talk about this, I'm tired." How that email would have went, it would have went just like this. "I'm so tired of these gay men coming at women. I'm so tired of that." But I didn't see not one email to say, "Wiley, cover that story," because it don't fit in that narrative. Because that was a straight man. And he came out and he cussed out this Black woman, dogged her out on national television. Not one petition was set up. Not one powerful, prominent person came out and said, they need to counsel him off the Zeus. We demand an apology. But if that was a gay man sitting on that show and cussed out that Black woman, it would have been so many Black women in this chat, and they would email me personally saying, "Why in the world would a gay man come out at this woman?" That would have been the conversation. Majority of the phone calls would have been, "I'm so tired of LGBT." That would have been the majority of the phone call. It is what it is. But because he was a straight man, masculine, tattoos, it wasn't that bad. It's keeping it real. This is entertainment. But why can't a gay person get a pass? Okay. But I'm just saying they won't be able to get a pass on that. No way. So this is why on this show, I don't cuss out Black women on this show. Because you know why? Because as soon as I cuss out a Black woman on the show, oh, look at that man. He don't like Black women. He cussed her out. But these black women, when you get under their skin, they'll come out. And I've had the most disrespectful thing live on the air. And I've never once cussed them out on the air because I already know that they will automatically take her side because I'm a man. And it will say, they will come at me all type of stuff. Right. So I looked at that show and I said, well, no counsel. He wasn't counseled. There ain't no petition, none of that. But if that was a gay man, oh my gosh, they would have hold him to the fire. It would have been all in those DMs, all in the shade room comments. Most of the comments that I personally read, because I went through the shade room, the neighborhood talk, Jasmine Brand, whoever posted that, I made sure to read a lot of the comments. Most of it was laughing emojis. Now, it wasn't nothing like, let's start a petition. Let's counsel him. That's why I look at this DaBaby thing and I don't really come at him so hard because I know it's selective outrage. It's very selective. Very selective. Because we need to have that same energy for protecting black women. But black women have to lead that too. They can't be picking and choosing who they want to protect and who they want to throw away. Because when I listen to that Jocelyn show, most of it is ratchet. It's fun. I like to see it, but it's ratchet. It's degrading towards black women because those black women that are on there, they really can't really speak up for themselves and come at Jocelyn. I would never, me personally, I would have never, unless I'm getting paid multi-million-dollar checks to get on that show. I will not get on the show and allow you to cuss me out, drag me, and I can't come and say nothing. There's no way in the world. I'm going to throw a chair. I'm going to body slam you. I'm going to do something, period. I'm not going to allow you to just cuss me out, call me all type of B words, and I got to sit there and just take it. That's abuse. But I didn't see hardly no black women came out and say any of those things because they thought it was funny. they thought it was funny. Can you imagine if this show with the roles were reversed and it was a gay man on the show or a trans woman on the show cussing out those black women, degrading them, calling them H words and B's, get off my stage and blah blah blah. They would have said all type of stuff. That would have been T.S. Madison on that show and cussed out those black women and degrade them. It would have been so much outrage in the DMs and videos. People YouTube careers would have been birthed on that day because they would have made so many videos for that. And the main thing they're going to be, I'm so tired of these women pretending to be us and they're not really women. It is what it is. They would have came out. They would have said all these things. Woo. It would have. I hope I'm teaching right now. Okay. So that happened. So then it's another video. Okay. Let me make sure that I talk about all the subjects and we gonna open up the phone lines. And we're gonna allow y'all to call in. And don't try to email me. Call in. I want to hear your voice. Don't be sending me all these lengthy emails today. Because I just had an email this morning with a person. She was really angry. I haven't talked to this person in a long time. She emailed me this morning. All right, give me a second. I want to pull up. Can I pull up that video? I want y'all to hear it. I want to let y'all see it, but I'll let y'all hear it because I did not download it. So this is a trans woman. Why does she do this? I don't know. But this trans woman came up and she said, he didn't know I was transgender. Should I tell him? And she proceeded to kiss him. And this is what she said.
So recently, I posted a video saying, oh my God, this guy didn't know I was trans. And I got thousands of hate comments and death comments. Wow. And most of the comments that was commenting underneath my post was obviously transphobic or homophobic. And honestly, all you guys can go fuck yourself. Fuck my dick, bitch.
Now, that last part, when she said, suck my ping B word, I'm like this, bruh. I've been with women. I've been with men. I know the difference between a woman, and a man. How in the world? Because when you be intimate with a woman, you touching on body parts, right? I'm touching on everything I can touch on. So you mean to tell me you can't feel that that woman got a rod, a peen? You can't. If this is true, if she not trolling, I'm like, you gotta know this woman got a peen. Because she said right there, suck my peen. B word. So she admitting that I have a peen, I got a peen. So you don't not know? I've been with a trans woman. I've been with a trans woman before. I knew she was trans when she walked in the door. You can't trick me. Most men should know unless you don't want to know. Most men should know. So did she trick him? I really can't really get into details on that because I could just give my commentary, but I'm going to put this on my Instagram and let you all see it. So those people that did not get a chance to see it, I'm going to let you all see it. I just heard y'all their response. So give me a second. I'm going to upload it to my IG since I can't upload it to my YouTube. I just uploaded it to my Instagram. And hold on one second. I'll upload it to my Instagram. And there we go. So if you're on my Instagram right now at Wiley Show, it is up there right now and you can see it for yourself. But how you not know? How you not know? I don't care how you look. I know. No. I just know. Right? But if you got, I can understand you got the surgeries and you just don't got that pain, you know, it's gone. It's, you know, you got the surgery. So I can understand that. But you ain't gonna be around me for all this time. And I don't know, you got that extra equipment. I'm sorry. And if you, it's red signs, and I want to tell my brothers, it is red flags that if you're dealing with a trans woman and all she want to do is do it in the dark, or if you're dealing with a woman, all she don't want the lights on, she always wants you to hit it from the back, that's a sign. I'm like, hold up, turn the lights on, let's strip search, let's see. I want to be able to see what I'm getting into. It ain't gonna be just all in the dark. And if you always deal with her, she says she's always on her period. Every time you want to do the front door, oh, I can't do it. That's a sign that you may not have a woman. I mean, you may not have a woman that a traditional woman. Can I say traditional? What can I say? Traditional. You may have a new a new version of woman with extra equipment. But if you come to me, and I know they have to be, trolling. Thank you, Kevin. I know they have to be trolling because he know, like, right, Kevin? Right. I'm glad you said it because I said he know. I didn't even have to do the backstory on it because I'm like, you know, come on now, just look at that woman. You could just tell that she got some extra equipment. I'm just saying, you could tell it's a little testosterone in that. You could just tell. That I looked at it. I'm looking at it. I'm like, baby, you ain't got to tell her. I already know you got some extra equipment. Anyway, so but she was shocked and she was like, oh my gosh, what kind of comments? Of course you're gonna get comments because when you put those troll videos out and you do this, women going to come out and say, stop tricking men. This is why y'all doing this, and oh my gosh, they're not women. So you play into that narrative. But in reality, I want to let people know is that he knows that's a trans woman, is what I'm trying to say. You're not really going to get away and just trick a man and they not know it. Come on now, men are more smart than what you think. Especially if you're intimate. They know. A man know that all you want to do is backdoor. You want the lights off, it's a ref. He going to think like, what's going on here? They know. So let's just have that conversation. Let's just put that out there. So when I saw the video, I saw the comments and I was like, oh my God, let me see if I can read some of them comments. Give me a second. Ooh, excuse me. Hold on, let me see if I can read some of them comments because this, Let me see. Give me a second. Yes, thank you. Someone said men be knowing, but they be embarrassed when they get caught. Facts. I agree with you 100%. Let me see if I can find that video. I want to read those comments, not the one that I post. Okay, this one, because they got 141,000. Girl, it's 2021. Needs do better than this. You must always disclose your tea, especially with all the men that are into trans. That's what T.S. Madison said. Someone said this, the next 48. Then somebody said this. Now, this ain't how people die. You can't play with somebody. This is how people die. You can't play with somebody like that. Now, he knew they do ish like this and play victim. He knew it's very clear. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Another person said is, what's up with all these people admitting to the R word? Another person said, see, this is how they always end up in a pack. A black woman said this is deceiving. Black man said this ish gotta be illegal, bruh. Then another person said this ain't no way that man ain't no. I'm just reading these comments. A black woman said this. Now, when you end up in a river, don't expect my sympathy. And this is a black woman. Let me go to her page. Black woman. But when that video came out, when that man dogging black women, no outrage. I'm just saying. All right. So, but yeah, this was trolling. I'm just getting the DMs now. Like they were troll. Clearly, you could tell, because you can tell. He knows. Come on now. Them things, one thing about it, if you got some extra equipment and you get excited, that thing gonna get hard. Unless you ain't into those stuff like that. It's gonna grow. I mean, it is what it is. If you got that extra equipment, it gonna grow. That thing gonna grow. You gonna feel some hard down there, and that ain't no flashlight. So you gonna know. So all this thing, like, it's women out here tricking these men. No, they know. Only thing that I've noticed, because it was a guy in my neighborhood, he was dealing with a trans woman, and he got exposed, and it was bad. It was bad for the trans woman because I think she got beat up or something, and everybody knew that she was trans. I thought she was a cross dresser, but I wasn't educated on. Hold on one second. Me personally, I wasn't really educated back then on trans. We just call them cross dressers. We call all type of stuff, but it was bad, right? And we knew he was smashing. I knew he was that type of way because I had a homeboy that was on that knew that he was that way. And people gonna talk. They know, like they know. It's just like when you get exposed, then people are like, then that one the outrage. But people in reality, they know when you creeping because word gonna get around there and stuff like that. It's definitely gonna get around. So. But I remember that I've seen when people get exposed or they try to expose them. I don't agree. Now, this is something I don't agree with the trans community. I don't agree if you mad at him, you're going to try to tell his homeboys and you're going to try to expose him to his people. Now, that's dangerous. I don't like that. I think that's not safe. Don't do that. Don't try to go to the hood like, I'm gonna tell all his people. You trying to pull out this argument. I'm a man with a ping and you slept with me. I'm letting all your homeboys know because you may not be breathing long enough to be doing that. Now that's dangerous. Now that to me is dangerous. That's more, that's dangerous. You got to be very cautious with that. And some of these men, it was an incident on Jeffrey back in Chicago. This trans woman wanted her money and they were intimate. They got it in. And she wanted her payment. So the guy was like, he didn't want to give her money. So they arguing all on Jeffrey. Now, mind you, in the South Shore neighborhood, it's predominantly black, it's hood. So they arguing now. She really chasing this man now. You gonna give me my money and you did. Her voice started to get deep and all this type of, what you mean? All that. They were laughing. It was recorded. It was like she chased this man down. And I'm like, number one, bruh, why would you allow you get intimate with this trans woman and you don't want to pay her? You did a service, they're going to want to get paid. So don't even try to act like that. Just give her couple of dollars or whatever amount it is, because now you're getting exposed. And it was so embarrassing. It was all on Facebook, and I knew exactly the neighborhood. I knew who the person was, the trans woman, because I saw her in house parties, and she was a prostitute, and she wanted her money. She wanted her money. I don't know how much she charged. She wanted her money. Mm-hmm. I've paid them. Like, don't be trying to smash it, then you don't want to pay. Then you want to get mad. No. If you were able to get a service, if she was able to deposit that flashlight inside you and you see the tatas and all that type of the boobies and all that, she want her money. And they don't play about their money. They don't. Absolutely not. Not gonna play about their money. So that was going on. So again, we're gonna open up the phone lines if anybody want to call in. We definitely want to open up the phone lines. So give me a quick second. Or I'll open up StreamYard. Give me a second. I can open up StreamYard too if anybody would come on StreamYard. I was not expecting. Dude, I don't know why I said flashlight because it's black and it's hard. It is big. I'm telling you, like, I remember this flashlight because my stepdad did security, right? And he had a flashlight. It was a big black flashlight. So in my mind, when I say flashlight, it's big, black, and hard. I know that I'm dealing with a trans woman. So you can't put that past me unless you got the surgery, unless you got, the yoni, you had all that type of stuff, then you probably can get away with it. You probably. But I know, and it's some trans women I do like. And I'll be like, oh, I want to taste that. I want to see how that is. I'm just amazed. Because you get the both of both worlds. You know what I'm saying? You get the pink, you get the breast, you know what I'm saying? You get the both of both, the best of both worlds. So that's why I like it. And trans man is that's a whole nother level of pleasure. That just, it is what it is. You look like a whole man, but you got the yoni. It's yes. Not the one that you get. I don't want to deal with the ones that go and get the surgery and you try to get your opinion. No. I like the trans man that got the JJ, the yoni, and you look like a whole dude. You look like a dude. Like, hey, you got that down there and stuff like. It's an amazing. That's like a whole level of pleasure, right? All right. Okay, so I'm gonna open up the phone lines, and that's a whole level of yeah. I don't know if that's like a whole level of pleasure. It really is. Like, you look a whole dude. You got everything. All right, so give me a sec. Oh, Governor Cuomo. I'm sorry. So he announced that he's gonna resign, and I'm like, to the Democrats in New York, like, they probably had a conversation with Governor Cuomo and said, listen, you gotta resign, you know what I'm saying. So they allow him to leave, but I'm confused. Why the world is gonna take you 3 weeks to resign? Why is it gonna take you 3 weeks? Now, this was a Donald Trump. Like how they impeached Donald Trump twice, and they impeached him twice. Democrats in New York, you got to practice what you preach, because you cannot allow Governor Cuomo, to go around and just resign and don't impeach him. He needs to be impeached. If those allegations is true, the attorney general came out and said he did this and all of this, impeached him. And the reason why he's resigning, he don't want to resign, but he already know he's going to get impeached. So the Democrats had a meeting, right? They had a deal that you resign and you still can, you can probably run back for all, because we won't impeach you, because the Democrats are in power. But the Republicans in the state capital of New York can still file articles of impeachments, but I don't think the Democrats will fall for that, because they don't want to have that and mess up their chances. So I don't see him being impeached, because Democrats run it. But that's the deal that was had. It's nothing like he wanted to be impeached. I mean, he wanted to resign. He was forced to, because he's going to be impeached. And I'd rather go out resigning than impeach and being removed from office, because that's like immediate. So they give him time to really save a little bit of his political career and not have an impeachment on his record. So That's understandable. Is you can't going around harassing your staff. You just can't. You can't be doing that. You can't touch on your staff and all of that. You got to be very careful. Even you can't even be intimate with them because that can turn into something totally different. That they felt pressure to give you some yoni because you were the governor. So you got to be very careful. It was what was his name? Oh my gosh, he was a TV host of PBS. Can't think of the man, and he was black. And that's how he lost his job, is because he was intimate with those women. I think it was consensual, but they said they felt pressure to give him some because he was their boss. So you got to be careful with that. You got to be very, very careful with that. So you will lose opportunities. And Governor Cuomo was in line of running for president. Travis Smiley. That's how he got. Yep, he got caught up. He was smashing some of his subordinates, and they said, "No, you use your." They felt that they had to do this to get a promotion and stuff like that. So you got to be very careful. You just do not be smashing your staff. Because once you smash your staff, it's going to end up real messy. Real messy. All right. Okay. So give me a second. I'm opening up the phone lines. You got to be very careful on that. Give me a second. I'm going to open up these phone lines. All right. Hold on. I got to see. I'm trying to get me a new computer because I love to stay on camera, but unfortunately, when I use this new camera on here, it do not allow me to stay on camera, especially when I use StreamYard. When I use any other software, you can see me. So do not take it personal if you see me on an avatar. That's the only way it won't boot me out the system. Because unfortunately, with this type of system that I'm using, it boosts me out when when I use this camera. It just boosts me out, and the camera is more clear, but you won't be able to see me on camera when I take phone calls. So now, if you come on StreamYard, then I can stay on camera. But my audience, they like the phone lines. They love the phone lines. They will not hit that link. They won't hit that link. Okay. They said you ain't about to get me on camera, Wiley. All right, so give me a second. I'm opening up the phone lines. Let me put this right here. I'm gonna put it on here. Call in. The number is 646-716-8447.
Important instructions, press 2.
All right.
Your show is scheduled to start in 25 seconds.
All right, 25 seconds. Call in. Okay, give me a second. All right, there we go. All right. Hopefully y'all can hear me, so give me a
Your
second.
show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Blog Talk Radio.
Okay. 4635, call you on air.
Hey, Wiley, and hey, Chad. How's everybody today? Hold on, let me turn you down in my ear.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second. All right, there we go. I just wanted to call in today and just speak on the LGBT community.
Okay.
And how I feel about it. I'm not gonna lie. I am one of those people that don't necessarily wish for my son to be gay or trans or anything of that nature. I don't. But even though that's how I feel regarding my own son, I don't have anything against anyone who chooses to live that lifestyle. I have a cousin who is really like my best friend. We are very, very close. And I know that he's gay. And for whatever reason, he has not come out to me to admit that. But it's just something that I know. And I want so badly to say it to him, like, I know. And I'm not going to love you any less. I'm not going to see you as any less. But I just want him to be truthful with me because we're close. We're close like that. But I guess we're not close enough for him to open up that part of his life to me.
No,
and I think that's
you know
because
why?
he thinks I'm going to judge.
Because you're going to judge your child. You already said you don't want your child to be.
No.
You said you don't want your child to be that way.
Let me stop you there, Wiley. I would never judge my child. Listen, if my child was to say to me that they were, I'm going to love my child irregardless, unconditionally, just because I choose for my child, like, you know, personally within myself, just because I don't wish for my child to be that way doesn't mean that I wouldn't love my child unconditionally. I would absolutely accept my child, love my child, and it is what it is. Now, is that my first choice? No. And that's just my right as a person to have my own choice in regards to that topic, but I'm not going to love my child any less. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So I just wanted to say that because there is some of us that necessarily wouldn't want that for our own child.
But have you ever said that in front of your cousin that you don't want your child to be gay? Do he know that about you?
No, because it's never come up. Because like I said, it's something that I know, but he doesn't express. But it's something that I know wholeheartedly, but he doesn't talk about it. He doesn't bring it up. And like I said, I feel as though that he thinks that I wouldn't accept him. And I absolutely would. That's my cousin. That's my ace, like, regardless of what. But I know that he is. I just know that
I think most people, for speaking on your cousin, I don't know his story, but I've talked to some that don't want to come out of the closet. Most of them don't want to be judged.
Why?
They don't want because for them, you never came and told him that you're heterosexual. You just right? You never had a conversation with your cousin saying, I'm heterosexual. So for him, I don't think he have to come out and say that.
He don't have to. Listen to this, Wiley. He doesn't have to. But at the end of the day, I feel like if he did, he would be much more free. That's what I believe. I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't know. But that's what I would believe. I would believe that he now would be more free, his shoulders would be relaxed, and knowing that, you know, people know and he can be free in who he is and that he's not going to be loved any less. I can't speak for everybody in our family, but I know for me, I'm not going to love him no less. And I want for him, because I love him so much and we are so close, I want him to live in his truth. I want him to be free. And I'm not going to lie. At one point, I was closed-minded, like, oh, my God, you know, people like that is, you know, nasty, or they're F's or whatever. I was once that person. But now I've opened up my mind to it. I listen to your show. I listen to the commentary. I listen to the opinions of everybody. And I'm just like, listen, people are going to be who they are. They're going to love who they love. They're going to be with who they want to be with. That's not for me to judge. My job is to love my neighbor as I would love myself. And that's it. Yes, I was that person at one time, but I'm no longer that person. And it's so sad that people are closed-minded and won't allow themselves the opportunity to open their minds, to allow people to be who they are. So, you know, it's going to take time for some people, just like it took time for me. Everybody's not going to get it at the same time. But it is possible. It can happen. But I don't think people should, you know, talk badly about people who make the choices that they've made, or, you know, stereotype or discriminate, because they still have to put themselves in that person's shoes and see how it would feel to them. Like, it's for all of us that are Black, we know how it feels to be discriminated against just being Black. Right? We see that every day. We feel that every day. So none of us that's Black should do that, because that's something that we experience on the daily. But I just wanted to say that not everybody, you know what I'm saying, that's following you, listening to you, you know, feels like the way you were mentioning earlier, because I definitely am not one.
All right. Thank you so very much for calling in.
All right. Love you, Ali.
Love you. Okay. All right. Okay. That was a great conversation. Give me a second. We going down the line. 8822. You live on air.
Hi, Wiley. How are you?
Mm-hmm. Doing good.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Oh, okay. So I actually came a little late, so I missed one portion. I missed a couple of portions of the show, but because I was so busy today. But I did see that you was talking about you were saying like you think DaBaby shouldn't be canceled but educated. So I wanted to ask you why, because I think I missed that segment of the video.
Because
this
because with that energy, I don't want to have nobody had that much power to say get rid of somebody's livelihood and without first having some type of conversation to educate him. And when I mean by education, send him down with some people that is positive, that is educated in that in that area, and let's have a dialogue, let's have a conversation instead of counseling, because what it does, it keeps the community turned off from willing to talk. Are we going to be the type of community just because you offend me that you just are going to be counseled, or are we going to be like, listen, before we get to that, because that's like the nuclear option, let's have a conversation and let me educate you and to tell you why you were wrong and what you said just wasn't right and why it was hurtful before we talking about snatching your bags.
Yeah, I agree with you. I feel you on that. I feel like, I feel like he definitely should be educated. But and I really feel the way you feel. But sometimes I don't feel bad for DaBaby, because DaBaby feels to me, it kind of, the way it looks like he really don't care. It looks like I feel like because the bookings were kind of like getting cut off, so I feel like he tried to he probably like, let me say something so I can, so I can get back into the algorithm of stuff. But I feel like even that apology that he put out, I feel like his publicist put that out, honestly. And then now I feel like because the gay community haven't really accepted that, so I feel like he went and deleted the apology, which I feel like that's not sincere. I don't care how much they're dragging you. Once you feel like you're sorry, you did your part, you did your part. So to go on Instagram and then delete that particular post, it's just, to me, it was, I don't know. I just look at it as not being sincere, And then even when he first wrote it, when it first came out, it was just like, this one sounds like DaBaby. And I just feel like he don't care. I feel like he feels like he has CI and Booz in him on his side. So it's just like, yeah, whatever. I'm still rallying down with the hip hop community and stuff like that. But but I do want to see do things he shouldn't be breakdown. He should be educated on what he said and stuff like that. I feel like he should sit down with Elton John. I feel like he should donate money to the HIV / the AIDS community, the people people who have transmitted disease, that community. Also probably donate to the gay community too, and or probably sit down with Elton John or sit down with some people who know something and get educated on it and move on. But I feel like all this, one day I'm sorry, next day I'm gonna be petty and I'm gonna delete stuff, I'm gonna be arrogant, I'm gonna apologize. It's just too much. And it just like it makes people not feel bad for you. That's how I look at it, to be honest.
All right, thank you so very much for calling in.
Can I ask you one question, please? How you feel about the Liz and Cardi B stuff? I'm
gonna do that. I'm doing another video about that. You go ahead. Okay. Thank you. Okay. I'm gonna talk about it.
I'll be listening.
Okay.
All right.
Bye. Okay.
Right.
Okay. So 8126 caller, you on air.
Hi, Wiley.
Hi.
So I wanted to make a comment on what's going on, and I'm just gonna say this. So, it's sad that people are judging people because you're not here for that. You're not here to judge anybody. You're here to live your life on earth and, go, prosper, be productive in life. You're not supposed to be putting any human being down. You're not supposed to be judging them. The gay community, they're regular people just like us. My uncle Victor, I don't want to tell him. My uncle was gay. We grew up with, we were babies. He helped raise us. And all I seen with him was that he was regular. He was regular just like, my mom. Only thing different was he had the same partner that he was. But he was still a regular guy. He did the same. He didn't do nothing different from regular people. So we out here judging these people, because why? You got extra time on your hand. I just think people are so mean now. And for some reason, people are just like judgmental. But then guess what? Guess what's in their closet? You know what I'm saying? They sitting around here judging people, and, we don't know what's in their closet. It's probably worse than anything else. It's nothing with the gay. It's nothing wrong with the gay community. It's just, they say, okay, so they go by what's in the Bible. So why'd you just pick that one thing? It's a lot of stuff we shouldn't do. We shouldn't be overeating, but we are. We shouldn't be, covering, doing adultery, and we are. So do we look at them like we look at the gay community? No. I think a lot of our Black culture, they just, they're mean. A lot of our people are mean towards each other. We have been bred to go against each other in any type of category. We could be like regular women, and we see some fine-looking woman walk down the street. As soon as she passes, we talking about her like a dog. So people need to learn how to mind their own business. And with DaBaby, don't cancel them. Teach them. Just teach them. That's all you got to do is just teach them.
All right. Thank you.
That's all I got to say.
Thank you so very much for calling in. Okay.
All right.
All right. Listen. That is not my smoke detector. Okay. Listen, people, please put a battery in your smoke detector. It's for safety reasons. I think that you can go to the fire department and they will put it in there for free. I don't know if that's true or not, but please, if you live in an apartment, if certain smoke detectors are a little different, call your maintenance people and tell them, I need a battery in my smoke detector. Please. For me, do that for me. I'm saying that to DaBaby, because I know DaBaby, he had his smoke detector going off. I'm saying that to Trina, because Trina had her smoke detector going off. Listen, put a battery in your smoke detector. Change the battery. Okay. All right. 3071, caller, you're on the air.
Hello. Yes, I agree with your last caller, except for DaBaby has not been living under a rock. He can be educated, but he also needs to be canceled. So I do agree with her. Your first caller, her relatives can't be comfortable around her because of how she has talked about the gay community. Never in my life have I felt something ill or not liked or been prejudiced or whatever against the gay community because, for one, I really wasn't brought up in the church like that. And I know when I did go, that was their main focus. No one cared about that 13-year-old who was pregnant by the pastor. No one cared about the pastor having all these kids out of wedlock. No one cared about people overeating or any of those things. It was the gay community that was the target. And I believe your first caller, she's only becoming accepting of it because she see a little something in her son. So now let me go ahead and be accepting of my relative because who knows, my son may be like that. It's not about accepting them or them choosing to live their life. No, let them live their life. That's not them choosing. It just really bothers me when people sit up here and they say, I used to think like that, and then have a problem with a relative not feeling open to it. You'd be surprised at the women who sit out here who have these kids and sit up there and judge these people for being gay. Meanwhile, don't even know who their baby daddy is because they just slept around. But they ain't been judged for that. So I think people just need to they just need to wake up and stop listening to all these pastors or whatever talking about how gay is a sin or whatever. They need to talk about all of it. All of it. Everybody has sinned. So I'm just really sick and tired of the people who say, yeah, I used to think like that. Okay, so why you change? Because you see your son or your daughter going that way. So now you want to use your other relative as an experiment so that you can get ready. People need to stop.
All right. We thank you so very much for calling in. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, the number is 646-716-8447. All right. 9867. Call you on the air.
Hey, Wiley and Chad. This is Lisa from New York. So I just have a couple of things. Wiley, you mentioned that how come we didn't cancel Jocelyn type of whoever she's dealing with, Ballistic, I think his name is. And I feel like he used that story because with Wiggins, he mentioned that as well and stated if he had said those things, they would have canceled him. But then people cancel him all the time for what he says about Black women because they cancel because he's a gay Black male. And that's not why we cancel or we have some type of feelings or sometimes we're arm mindset. That's not the reason why. And I hate when people try to like loosely connect the things. The thing is, it's kind of like what Jocelyn's boyfriend did. First of all, I don't even watch Jocelyn and I don't watch Zeus. Because Jocelyn is someone who deals with trauma and she gets off of insulting people. So the fact that women are on there to be insulted by someone who are just like them, to me, they're just all for the clicks and views. A lot of those women who were on that show also probably went through similar abuse that they don't even realize they're being disrespected, right? And I do feel like that person needs to be canceled within itself. The thing is, you know, when we look and we follow YouTubers, you know, and we look for entertainment, there are certain things where how you say things can come across, right? Now, the thing is, like, when you start using, when gay Black males start to disrespect dark-skinned Black women by using these negative slurs, monkey, or, you know, like, which is very offensive because, you know, where that's a more racial thing, right? Or just being nasty. In some ways, I do, in my opinion, some men, not all, I do think some Black men want to replace Black women or think they're better than Black women. Just like and it's all about straight Black men too, right? Like they do the exact same thing that straight Black men do, except for they just love someone else. That's the only thing. Now, as far as with DaBaby, I do think with DaBaby, I don't care if DaBaby is canceled. I think he needs to be canceled. He should have been canceled when he kicked that Black woman in the face. He should have canceled him before, but he decided not to. But now, because he offended, you know, gay people, which mostly he not only offended white gay people, they're like, nah, we gotta cancel him. Let's pick and choose how it really works out in this world, right? And he's dealing with whether it's gays or even women in general. Just like how they don't cancel when things happen to Black women, they cancel when it happens to white women. When it comes to the gay community, it's not the Black gays they really care about. You offended the white gays who really run the thing. That's what they cared about, right? And I know it's unfortunate they use, same thing they did for feminist movement, they use Black women to increase their cost. Same thing with what the gay community do to Black gays, right? Black gays are not where they should be when it comes to their rights, when it comes to their movement, right? They often ignored in the community, just like how, you know, we are ignored in the community as well as a Black woman when it comes to compared to white women and her tears. So I think it's, you know, when we're looking at why they canceled DaBaby, they canceled it because the white gays are the one who run stuff. Let's keep it a buck. If he had said something about Black gay men or Black gay women, and even then within the gay community, Black gay men is above Black gay women, they wouldn't have cared. They would not have cared at all. They would have carried on their day. So I do think DaBaby needs to be educated, but he doesn't want to be educated. He's just ignorant. Ignorant people just let ignorant people just be because they will never change. Lastly, with this whole Cuomo stuff, because I'm from New York, with this Cuomo stuff, I feel like, I don't know. I do feel like sexual assault victims need to come forward. But I don't, Wiley, maybe just me, I feel like it reminds me of an episode of Scandal, where, you know, when people want you out, people will get you out. It's how it happened with Cuomo that is so apparently convenient where we are right now, right? Like last year, Cuomo was like leading things with it and calling out mad government officials, just doing the thing when New York was hit the most. And then all of a sudden, this whole entire scandal came out, which I won't be surprised if he did do it. Let's keep it buck. Like things do happen, right? But it's like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I don't want to victim shame because women do deal with stuff just like men deal with stuff too. But sometimes, and when it comes to these type of stories, sometimes I wonder like, are all the stories the same? Okay. Or are they like over exaggerated? Does that make sense, Wiley?
I hear you. I hear what you. I hear. I
do think he probably did it, but I do feel like sometimes I feel like how it happened. It's so convenient with the government, with the governors coming up, the mayoral candidate coming up, and then because it's kind of like, and this is what I hate. I hate when politicians do these things, and then people come out at the like I feel like he should have been crucified last year, right? I feel like he should have been removed last year or when it first happened. But then they build a case, and then the floodgates open, right? And sometimes in those cases, it's kind of like, are all of them the same? Like all of them? I don't know. Maybe because I watch too much TV. But I'm glad that the women who are victimized are getting their justice.
Okay.
And you're right, Wally. It shouldn't take 3 weeks to step down, right? It shouldn't take 3 weeks for him to be removed. But, you know, like, he was a fan favorite. So I guess that's what they're trying to do. And I think it's going to hurt our electoral, our election in the near future. Which is all bad in general. I'm just pretty shocked, and I'm glad he's out.
All
But
right.
thank you, Wally.
Well, thank you. Thank you so very much for calling in. All right. Give me a second. All right. Thank you. Oh, wow. We have so many callers. Let me get to these callers. Y'all are calling in today. 2746 calling you on air.
Hello, Wiley. This is Natasha Razor. Number one, black women, we need to learn from the gay community and the way they stick together and cancel somebody that's done something to them. We need to do the same thing. I think the problem that black people have with women and gays is our community has a problem with sexuality. They think it's okay when rappers talk about, you know, black women because it's those black women. It's the hoes, it's the strippers. So it's okay. So it doesn't affect the church black women. But it affects all of us because we're all being degraded. And as far as with the gay culture goes, black people and the church spend too much business in other people's bedrooms. We have a problem with when one of our own women get raped or something happens to us, it's like, well, what did she do? What was she wearing? But as far as the Zeus network, I've been emailing, DMing, cussing out Lunel, everybody, because this is disgusting. And I took my, I got rid of my subscription because it was disgusting. The way they talk to those women, the way they made us look. And if you go on the Zeus network pages, you will see that there's a lot of people that complained. Now, as far as on the Shade Room, you know, it's a different, they have a different audience, more of a misogynistic audience. But the reason they made it okay is, number one, I feel like if Jocelyn wasn't Puerto Rican, she wouldn't be where she is. And to see Lunel kissing up to Jocelyn, Lunel, who's had a 30-year career, kissing up to Jocelyn, was just completely disgusting. And also, too, Lunel did a whole 2-hour live with the producer of Zeus, and she was backtracking because she's gotten so much backlash for this. So there has been a lot of backlash.
Okay, so my thing is this: why would Lunel get on? Like, that is bad on her because, number one, it's
very bad on her, and people were complaining. And I'm, you know, I supported Lunel all the time.
Not they drag.
So if you go on Zeus's comments and you see what the smoke Lunel got, and also too her live, she got so much smoke.
Wow.
Everybody was coming after her.
Okay, so give me a second. So she did get attacked. So they came after her. Okay. All right.
Yes.
All right. I'm looking.
And I definitely have been going off every single day on Zeus. I post I don't know how many times. And my last post I just did, I tagged you in it too. Because I have been tagging them. I told them I got rid of my subscription. And there was a lot of people there agreeing with me. And like I said, black women, we need to quit giving our money to these people. Don't buy any more of DaBaby. We should not have bought any more of DaBaby's records or supported him a long time ago. And we're letting this happen to ourselves. I'm from an older generation. I'm 47. So, you know, we were always getting rid of rappers. That's why we had Queen Latifah and everybody, because we would cancel you. If there was a show that spoke bad about black people, all the black people would go down to the station and protest. That's why we had, you know, the Cosby Show and Different World and so many positive shows. And we need to start doing that together, and we need to learn from the gays and get ourselves together, because black women, we have power and we have money. Well, thank you, Wiley, for your show. I'm going to let you get to your other callers.
Thank you so very much for calling in. All right. So, Wow. Thank you. I'm reading these comments on Zeus. She's right. They are definitely dragging on Zeus. I'm following Zeus right now just so I can get an update. Okay. Thank you. 0597. Let me go to the mail page.
Hey, what's up, Wiley? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. You got a lot of callers making a lot of good points about these topics. But the Voice of New York had made a comment about Armand Wiggins or whatever. Basically speaking up for gay people. I think that Wiggins is just on his gay rights freedom thing right now, and I'm not mad at that. I think he's just on that, and I'm not mad at that. One thing she did say was that like gay people are trying.
But this doesn't have nothing to do with him. He wasn't on Zeus. What I'm trying to get an understanding is, you see how quick they're able to put him on the forefront yet again. But we are knowing the fact of how this man, Ballistic, is that his name? Jocelyn, boyfriend or husband or partner, were able to degrade Black women. Where is that energy? Because it is easy to say one thing, but you're knowing the topic. The topic was, the discussion was, why haven't Black women canceled Jocelyn and her man? That's the discussion. Do you think that he would have gotten over if that was a Black gay man?
I think that it would have definitely been backlash if it was a Black gay man. I don't know how loud it would have got, but I think it definitely would have been backlash, because I think the show, period. I mean, like what Jocelyn is doing, just exploiting all the women. I mean, I read a comment on Twitter where they was talking about. They said Jocelyn Cabaret should be called Surviving Jocelyn because of the way she's just attacking these girls. I mean, y'all was ready to cancel Tyra Banks for America's Next Top Model. Her mistreating the contestants or whatever, America's Next Top Model. That was nearly a decade ago, and they was ready to cancel her today about that. And here you got this show with Jocelyn doing all of this, and everybody's just entertained. Nobody's saying nothing about it. There's no backlash at all. So, yeah, that's how I feel about that. In regards to the baby, I heard you said that he should be educated. He shouldn't be canceled. I really don't care, what goes on with him. Like somebody mentioned earlier, he's like giving unbothered, like he doesn't care. He deleted the apology. He's going on IG Live, just dancing in the car, like, so listen, if he let it go, I mean, I could care less, because we don't know if he even wants to be educated. Somebody can only be educated if they want to be. We assuming that. You know what I mean? Like, we make that assumption like this man wants to be educated. For all we know, he don't care no more.
Oh yeah, okay, you have a good point.
And why I wanted to ask you a question, because when you brought the trans women topic or whatever, I thought you was getting ready to get into this other situation concerning the baby again. But did you hear about when Angelica Ross?
I did hear about Angelica Ross, and I want to get into that in a whole nother conversation and put her name in the title and talk about that, because I'm going to talk about that in the next video. I'm going to go live again and bring that up. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely have to bring that up. You're right. I did hear about that. I got her in my notes for the next video.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Wally.
Thank you so very much. Okay. Wow. That's a good point. All right. Let me make sure that I add her to my notes, Angelica Ross. Let me make sure. Let me put her in my phone and talk about that, because she did bring that up. Oh my God, producer, send me Angelica Ross Instagram. Send me her Instagram really quickly, because I want to make sure, because I want to go back live and talk about that. Anonymous, you live on air.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, Wiley. First of all, I'm not going to cancel the baby, because I'm going to continue to support him, because I don't think he did anything wrong. And second of all, let's talk about Jocelyn. Why are we surprised at this woman who assaulted? She insulted this Stevie J, because she is Stevie J's baby mother. That's how we know her on Love and Hip Hop. She insulted his other baby mama, the entrepreneur, and called her a maid when that was her company. Like, that woman was doing something wrong instead of trying to support her her family by cleaning people's houses. There's nothing wrong with that. Jocelyn is a nasty, trashy woman, and I tell y'all, they put these nasty, trashy women on TV to do what? To disrespect the Black women, just like that other trashy woman that came off of Love and Hip Hop. Just so happened they invested enough money in her to want to put her as a superstar. But Jocelyn needs to, no, don't get it off the TV. I think Zeus Network should put a season 3 or a season 4, whatever season they're on, because that's the type of audience that they want to attract. There's nothing entertaining about Jocelyn, and that relationship that she's in, she likes men like that. So let her be with that type of men. And these girls who go on these shows, you go on these shows and let these quote unquote Instagram famous people insult y'all and treat y'all like prostitutes, because Jocelyn treats those women like she are their pimp to me. And we should not go on her show. It's her show. She thinks she's the princess of something, but girl, what are you the princess of? You letting this man sit here and talk to these like young girls like they're trash. If anything, try to uplift them. Get that garbage off of TV. Like, y'all get these shows and y'all don't want to do anything but present trash. Like, I mean, I would rather be entertained by a crackhead, because that's what they're given, crackhead behavior. It don't make no sense for these women to get on platforms with millions of followers and just insult other Black women. Do it to the white women and the Mexican women and the Hispanic women like Jocelyn. Don't do it to our Black women. And young Black ladies, stop going on these people's shows and, getting them all this money, making you look ignorant. Let's not do that.
All right.
And and we're not canceling DaBaby because he did absolutely nothing wrong. He stated his opinion, and everybody is entitled to their opinion.
All right. Thank you so very much for calling in. All right.
Thank you.
Wow, y'all are calling in today. Thank you. I'm hearing your opinion. The number is 646-716-8447. Also, if you want to keep the conversation going, you can hashtag the Wiley Show on Twitter. You can DM me, or you can hashtag and talk about that as well. 4635, calling you on air.
All right, so since this one caller want to come in and interject and give her opinion, what she thinks is an opinion on the first caller, girl, bye. Everybody has an opinion. It's like an asshole. Wiley, I will cash app you. Don't worry about it. First of all, you don't know me. You know what I'm saying? She want to talk about that the reason why I want to be open-minded to the LGBT communities because my son could be potentially gay. If he was, it wouldn't matter to me because I'm going to love him irregardless. I said that when I spoke the first time. But to my knowledge, at this moment, he's not. And if, like, again, I'm going to repeat it again. And if he was, I'm going to love my son irregardless, unconditionally. The reason, since you think you know so much, that the reason why I was closed-minded in the beginning, first of all, I'm from a different generation. And second of all, it was cultural. So that's why I was closed-minded. It was something that I heard growing up that was wrong, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Love is what made me open up my mind. Love for my family member, who I love to death, who's close to me. That's what made me open up my mind. And in opening up my mind, I'm open to more and more and more on a daily basis. So don't come for me because you don't know me, nor do you know what the fuck you talking about. Wiley, I got you on the Cash App.
Oh, okay. All right. This is going down. Okay. Oh my God. These callers, this is the only show. Hold on, before we get to these callers, they will argue with another caller. So I would have to, okay. Yeah, she gonna have to send us a cash. She said 2 cuss words. Okay. What the hell is going on? Like, this is the only show that would be listening. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's go. 1219, calling you on the air. 1219. Hold on, did I get it right? 1219. All right. 1219. Okay. 1588. 1588. Hello?
Wiley.
Yes, welcome.
Yes. Yes, good day.
Okay.
One of the caller, I agree with her saying do not cancel the baby. Here why I'm saying don't cancel him. First of all, you have to excuse the baby. Look how Snoop Dogg and them just get on stage. You understand? So he copied from them. You understand? Two, the reason why they're treating the baby like that is because he brought out Tory. That's how they treating him like that. Come on, Wiley, you know better than that. Not truth? It's because he bring out Tory Lane. That's how they treating him now. Canceling him. They shouldn't do that. Leave him alone. He have to eat. He have children. The boy have to eat. Have a good day.
Okay. All right. Welcome. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. So you do not want to cancel the baby?
No.
Okay. Okay. All right.
He didn't say nothing. He never said nothing about the gay community. He did not. He did not.
He did, ma'am. Yes, he did.
Say what?
He did say something
what?
was against, ma'am. Listen, he was very disrespectful
He said
towards people in the gay community. Those that are positive. It was some things that he said was wrong. Did you listen to what he said,
What?
ma'am? So did you listen to what he said?
What?
You said what?
Nothing matter. Them other elderly rappers they say worse than the baby and they doesn't get cancer.
Okay.
Call for woman pose, all kind of nonsense. And they're canceling them.
Okay. So you're
Yes,
so
everybody has
so
to
so
listen
I'm
to
just
what
trying to
I'm
understand,
saying.
caller. You do listen to DaBaby. Do you listen to his music?
If I don't listen to the baby,
Do you listen to his
I like his music. What a price, man.
Oh, you like his music. So what's one of your favorite songs?
The one what he did with Nicki Minaj's iPhone.
Yes! Come on! I love that song too. My iPhone. Yeah.
Yes.
I love that song.
Anything about it, all of them, like Snoop Dogg, when they come in to get their award and some kind of thing they used to say on the stage, come on. Suck my dick and all kind of foolishness. Come on. But when the baby say his thing, again they hate him through Megan, so they penalizing him. I'm not stupid.
Oh.
It's 57 years I am Wiley. I'm not stupid all day.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Where you from, caller? Where you from? Because I always want to ask you that.
From Nicki Minaj country, Trinidad.
You're from Trinidad. Okay, yes.
Yes, and the accent not going no way. I'm a Trinidadian.
Yes.
Right?
Well, thank you. Thank you for calling in from Trinidad. Thank you for your support, sis.
Yes, ma'am. I go on, yeah. Others want to talk to you too. I go on.
All right. Thank you. Okay. Yes. Baby, she said she listens to DaBaby. 6512, call you on the air.
Wally, so this is a statement that I want to make.
Okay.
So everybody want to kill DaBaby because of what he said, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. But what about when he beat up that old guy?
Oh.
He should have been canceled. He should have been when he slapped that woman in the crowd. He should have been that black woman in the crowd. Why you didn't cancel him then? We was begging for you to cancel him, and you didn't cancel him then. So I figured this is why I said it's too late for you to cancel Baby. This is a teachable moment for him. And obviously he wasn't even trying to apologize. But when his money started being taken away, all the venues that he had going, being taken away, then he apologized. So I don't believe that he's genuinely, I don't think he cared, but I think he cared about his money more. So since you in his pocket, yeah, he's gonna apologize now. He should have been canceled. You should have canceled him when he beat up that old white guy. Why nobody did anything? Because he was white and old, and he's like, he ain't nothing. What about when he slapped that black woman in the crowd? Why nobody didn't do it?
Well, thank you so very much for bringing that up. Thank you, caller.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. Give me a second. Wow, y'all are calling in today. 3376.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
Hey, Wiley, this is Katurbe, and I just want to give my thoughts on everything. As far as DaBaby goes, I think it's been beaten to the ground. He's really not sorry. As far as him being canceled, he canceled himself out, right? Like, he could have just left it as a PR statement and went about his day. Nobody would have cared. He really just does not care. But now that he has a baby on the way and he knows he has mouths to feed, now he's thinking about the consequences of his repercussions. So maybe he can have a comeback. Maybe he needs to cry on stage like Chris Brown did or something. I don't know. Moving on to Governor Cuomo, long overdue. The moment the first woman came forward, he should have just been like, y'all, I'm going to just, before, when they said they were going to investigate, he should have known what was going to happen. I don't think he was going to ever be a presidential candidate. This man lives a wild lifestyle. People don't like that. America, as, you know, liberal as they try to think they are, they have conservative views. He's unmarried. Where's his children? You know, he gives off bachelor vibes, and he's doing what a lot of the politicians are doing, but he doesn't want to play the game. So to each his own. He should have been stepped down, especially after all those women started coming forward, and he said he wasn't. Now he has to eat his words. As for this trans woman situation, I think that's dangerous, Wiley. Like, when I sit up here and I think about women, trans women like Angelica Ross and T.S. Madison and the Sydney Stars, I think about, you know, I get it. Everybody wants their place, and rightfully so. But to go about it this way, it's very careless. And then they get upset when people use the same talking point as, oh, I didn't know, that's why I did X, Y, and Z, or this is why I do X, Y, and Z. And I find it strange that Bobby Lights is not out here giving some PSA about how exposing Black men is the wrong thing. He always has something to say when Black women come forward saying something. So I didn't like that. And as far, what was you going to say? I'm sorry.
I'm just saying, oh, okay.
Yes, and as far as Jocelyn and that whole entire situation, first things first, anytime you sign up to do anything dealing with Jocelyn Hernandez, it has to be laced in some type of confusion, dysfunction. Nothing about that screams girl power, women empowerment, boss moves, entrepreneurship, nothing. It just the fact that she said Jocelyn's Cabaret with Jocelyn Hernandez, who we've seen go off the hinges, throw drinks, cuss people out, say things that weren't true, go off, and then try to go, but I'm helping these women. First of all, look at the women she brought on there. Miss Natural is a whole porn star. Half some girls up there are real strippers and sold some puss. So why are we surprised that she allowed her man Ballistic to come at them girls crazy? Like, for real, for real. Let's like really talk about it. The fact that they was fighting on the show didn't tell y'all that it was gonna be a mess. I don't know why anybody's surprised. Quite frankly, it's just giving selective outrage. Either you watch it or you don't. Jocelyn Hernandez said she's been doing this for 10 years. What has she been doing for 10 years? Acting a fool on TV for Suge Knight, aka Mona Scott, for those that don't know, and now she's doing it for herself and Ray J and Princess Love. Hello, dysfunction meets dysfunction, which equals the bad.
Well, thank you so very much for.
I'm not saying you have to like it. Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
I'm not saying you have to like it, but ladies, come on.
Yeah, and you have a right, and you definitely have a right to your opinion. Thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Wow. Y'all have called. Okay. How many more callers we got? Okay. We down slow. Okay. 1219. Calling you on air.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, yes. Welcome to the Wiley Show.
Hello.
I'm listening to you. Yes, go ahead,
Hi,
sis.
can you hear me, Wiley?
Yes, I can.
Um, First of all, I was really calling in to go like in defense of that first lady that had called.
Okay.
I really commend that lady because one, it really take a lot to abandon your own beliefs in the things that you believe in support of someone else. That right there has to be commendable. There is no parent that I would know who would want their child to be like, oh, wake up and be like, oh, I want my child to be gay. No, that's not how that works. So for her to stand up for her cousin, that's like truly commendable. And so that other lady who up there making comments about what's going on in that woman's house, first of all, you don't even know what's going on in that woman's house, so you need to mind your business. And any conversation involving children don't even need to be addressed in that period, point blank. Lady, you're down bad for that. Period. Love the show, Wiley. That's all I
Love
got
you.
to say.
Thank you so very much. Wow. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anonymous, you live on air.
Hello, Wiley.
Hi.
First of all, I want to say is for a straight black man like DaBaby, who is a millionaire, cancel culture does not exist for him, because just like we see on this from your show today, there are many of black straight men and a plethora of black straight women who will stick beside him no matter how homophobic, no matter how hateful he is. Cancel culture does not exist for black straight men. Cancel culture does not exist for white straight men. Cancel culture does not exist for white women. Let me tell you who cancel culture exists for. Cancel culture exists for people like Chrisette Michelle, for black women, for marginalized black women and marginalized black community. That's who cancel culture exists for. DaBaby is going to be fine. He's going to be back on stages probably by November. He's going to be okay. Let's believe that he's going to be okay. This is just temporary. This is just a consequences of his actions. But have we heard from Chrisette Michelle since we canceled her? And let's be clear, the black community canceled Chrisette Michelle. There was no white outrage for Chrisette Michelle going to perform for Trump. That was the black community who was outraged about that. And we canceled her. Okay? How many shows has she done? Where is she now? That's a real cancellation. So cancel culture for DaBaby, he's facing consequences for his actions, which he deserves. And let me tell you why this whole educate him thing is just a crock of BS. It's because you act like we can't tell who wants to be educated and who doesn't want to be educated. DaBaby doesn't want to be educated. That's the go-to line for the people who agree with DaBaby. Let's educate him. Let's don't cancel him. Let's educate him. We can tell he does not want to be educated. So why even waste our breath? Just go ahead and pull a couple of his shows and do this and do that, and he'll come to his senses. But we can tell he don't want to be educated. But like I said, DaBaby will be okay. He'll be back. He'll be back. Believe me, in no time he'll be back. And just like and when he comes back, best believe all the gays who's outraged at what he said, best believe they'll be front row and center, listen to his music. Best believe they'll be the ones buying his music, because if anything, let's go ahead and get this out of the way. Straight black men aren't buying albums like that. The number one consumers are women and gay people. Okay, so let's not. And the fake outrage with DaBaby is just, I mean, what he said was disgusting. But as a gay man, even I have said worse to my fellow gay brothers and sisters. But come on, let's be real. Cancel culture is not real. I wish you would just stop saying it, but I know you have to say it. But I wish you would just stop saying it. The only person who was ever canceled was Chrisette Michelle. Okay, and that's a conversation we really do need to have. Is why is this black woman who really did nothing wrong? What did she do wrong? She sung for Trump. Okay, I get it. But Kanye West was up there cooning, kissing his behind, doing all this and doing all that. And look where he at now. Look what Kanye at now, about to have a huge album. So let's really look at cancel culture and see who does cancel culture really affect. Black women, okay? We all owe Chrisette Michelle an apology. We all do, even I, because I was upset about it.
All
And the
right.
thing about Chrisette Michelle is she wanted to be educated. She wanted to know why people were upset with her for going to Trump's inauguration. She wanted that education, and we all threw her to the side. Black men, especially straight black men, black women, black gays, everybody did. So let's cut out with the cancel culture BS, because DaBaby's going to be fine. DaBaby's probably probably in his bank account probably got more money than any of us will ever see in our lifetime. So DaBaby's going to be fine. Just like Kanye West was fine after we supposedly canceled him. But but look at who is always the ones who's getting canceled is black women.
Thank you so very much for calling in. All right. I mean, the people have definitely spoke up on these subjects. We want to give a special shout out to all people in here. This was a 2-hour show. Wow. Thank you. Shout out to the subscribers that called in and gave their opinion. Want a special shout out to the moderators as well. That was lovely. That was great. Brought up some very good, valid points. Thank you. All right. Make sure you all subscribe to the channel. Make sure you all leave a comment if you want to keep the conversation going. We will be back again. I want to come back for another video. So I'm working on the topics right now. So if you want me to discuss something in the next video, let me know in the DM. What should we discuss? What should we talk about? You can DM me on Instagram at Wiley Show, or you can email me WILEYSHOW@gmail.com. We could definitely talk about that. If you want to add to the discussion, we would definitely do that. So if you missed the episode, you can catch the replay. In a couple of minutes, I will have the timestamps up for the people that want to have get a timestamp. We also updated you on the situation that happened. We interviewed a guest today, so we updated our community wall. So if you want to get more information of how you can help that mother and son, so you can definitely get that information on our community wall right now. So we put that information out there. So thank you so very much. Catch the replay, and we'll be back again with the next video. Peace.